yesterday, we took a look at the top 10 players still up for grabs out in the transfer window. But today, we're going to take a look at the top 10 deals so far in what has been a bit of a stop-start transfer window. So let's waste no more time and take a look. That's right, folks, back once again with another video. This time, take a look at the top 10 deals out in the Championship, and we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, smash your subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, football related. We're going to all here under one roof. Now, this is the top 10 deals so far. We are recording this on the 22nd of July. Still got a couple of weeks left. I think the window shuts on the 6th or something like that. I think after the season starts, I think the following Thursday is when the window shuts. There's also a possibility of a couple of extra days as well for the loan market. But let's take a look at what I believe are the top 10 deals done so far out in the Championship. Now, obviously, there's been deals done around the world that have been absolutely epic. But some of these ones are coming out of left field. Clue number 1, number 10, Macauley Bonne, boys and girls. Big fan of this fella. 23-year-old striker coming out of Leyton Orient, and he'll be playing Championship football with Charlton Athletic. That's right, newly promoted to the second tier of English football. Scored bucket loads of goals for Leyton Orient. 23 to name but a few. Zimbabwean international. Quote me on. I don't know if I think he's actually got a couple of games for him. So I'm going with that. Currently valued, if I can get it over, whoscored.com at 100,000. I think Charlton picked him up for 250, give or take. Good bit of business. That's what gets him into this top 10, is how much it cost him. You know, 250,000 for a striker, which I think will score at least 10, 15 goals this season for Charlton. I expect him to be top dog for them in their struggles. They're going to have struggle. They're going to have a difficult campaign in the Championship, but I expect him to be up there with some goals. I'm not saying he's going to rip the division apart, but he's going to contribute and to be picking up that amount of goals in the Championship for a player. And he's 23 years of age. It can only get better. I think we can see a very good few years for Macauley Bonne at Charlton. And obviously they need to strengthen their squad. Furthermore, after losing a couple of key players during the window. Okay, into number 9 we have. It's another bit of a wild one. And it's this guy. Last season it was strikers that are rocking all shit. Right now it is goalkeepers. And an experienced, extraordinaire goalkeeper, David Marshall, has swapped the Tigers for the Ticks. That's right, 34 years of age. Been there, done that with pretty much everything. Very solid, good goalkeeper. Very jealous of Wigan's pickup here. He's going to add a much needed reinforcements for Wigan, because I think they struggled with goalkeepers. They had Walton on last time out, which could be, depending on whether this goes live, it could be done and dusted. Walton could be a Rover for this season anyway. So Walton was Wigan's number 1 last time out. He'll surely be number 1 this time out for Wigan. Formerly in the books at Cardiff, Celtic as well, Scottish international, 29 caps as of recording. His value was as high as 3 million. It's not as high now, but he's definitely got what we wanted, and that's an experienced goalkeeper between the sticks. I think they're gonna be okay with him between the sticks. It's not going to be as leaky as some expect, and definitely regular game time is what David Marshall was looking for, and especially definitely a top number 1 keeper for Wigan for at least 1, maybe 2 seasons. I don't know the length of his contract, but he's definitely up there, and it was a free transfer. That also adds to the nous for this top 10 transfer deal. Into the next one we have 8. Into top 8 we go. It is Dan Crowley. That's right. To be honest with you, never heard of him. But I did check him out, check his stats out. Playing in the top division out in Holland. Obviously formerly on the books of Aston Villa. Arsenal. Has been around the houses over in England. Loaned out to Barnsley as well, playing for some lower teams out in Holland. The Go Ahead Eagles, SC Cambuur, Willem II, and that's the team that kind of took the chance on him in the end. Wilhelm number 2, and he scored a bucket load of goals for not a bucket load, but he was very creative for the Eredivisie side last season, getting his hand in at least 12 goals for them as they try to have a good season out in Holland. So picked up for a considerable nice fee, around about £750,000, give or take. Birmingham fans very excited he can play down the middle, more an attacking number 10 kind of spot, but also in more centre mid and also on the left-hand side. Age is on his side as well, just 21 years of age. Very good player. Obviously lost Che Adams this summer, as well as Jota. So they needed a bit of creative reinforcements this season, and they've got it in this guy. Good bit of business. Probably, and I say one of the top 10 could not only are the top 10 transfer deals so far, but probably one of the top 10 deals of the summer. Over into number 10, 9, 7, and it's Patrick Bauer, probably one of the most sought after defenders in this window. Was linked to pretty much everybody. Anyway, all the mid-table teams anyway. And Rovers were up there for a long chalk. We've been linked with this guy forever. And I thought it was a done deal. But it opted to go to Lancashire rivals, Preston. Obviously, captain extraordinaire, leadership qualities. This guy has. He's very good at blocking the ball. He's got a bit of a dodgy discipline as well. A couple of maybe red cards, yellow cards in his history. Something like that. But yes, leadership qualities is something that he's added to Preston. Obviously, they've got a few leaders already on the books. And he's, how old is he? He's 26 years of age, so he's got a good couple of years ahead of him. He's not the youngest, but he's not the oldest. Right smack dab in the middle. A good 2 or 3 seasons for Preston. And they've also been knocking on the door as well for promotion over the past few seasons. His value took a nosedive over the few years, mainly because of the division, I guess, Charlton were in, but he's back now into second tier of English football. And I expect him to do very well. Can dabble a little bit on the right-hand side as well, but mostly you're going to be at centre-back. Definitely something that Rovers need. And, you know, he falls into the category of you know, not a veteran, but not a youngster either. So top signing, and that's why he makes it into the top 10. Next up, we have Sami Samidic. Pronunciation is brutal, I do apologise. Scoring himself 14 goals from midfield last time out in League 2 for Colchester United. 23 years of age, he's not youngster, he's not over the hill, he's right smack dab in an age or a time zone where he should step up the grade. I think maybe if he was 26 it might be a little bit too far gone, but I think Bristol City have snapped this fella up at just the right time. Picked up on a free transfer as well. That does add to the quality of this transfer. Can play down the middle and that lucrative or that most sought after number 10 spot as well. Casey Palmer was in there, dabbled in there a little bit for Bristol City last time out. Very, very good team at Bristol City. I do expect them, if you see my predictions, I do expect Bristol City to be in the mix, playoffs, if not automatics, this season. I think they've got the right coach, the right mentality. Everything seems to be right for them right now, and they just missed out on the playoffs last time. So I think they're gonna be one of the dark horses for me to make a shot at it. And this guy should have and he's been scoring a few goals or being very creative and involved with the team over in pre-season as well. So I expect Sami Samidic, or rumour or whatever, however you pronounce it, to be considered one of the top 10 deals of the summer. Meanwhile, joining him is Anthony Knockaert. That's right, Premier League quality. Played 30 games last season for Brighton in the Premier League. Very good at crossing, taking set pieces, holding onto the ball, passing and dribbling. He is occasionally a bit sloppy with his finishing and discipline. Picked up on a loan deal by relegated Fulham, and has pretty much walks himself into the side. Plays down the right-hand side only. It should not be playing at Championship level. It's kind of like a cheat mode for Fulham here by bringing this guy in. Valued at around about 8 million, give or take. I'd say more along the lines of 15 million if you want to bring him in on a permanent deal. Yeah, dazzling winger. Always worried about him whenever I see him. You know, he can create something out of nothing. Very pacey, very explosive. Good bit of business by Fulham, and again they do have that he's going to provide that wow factor for them on the right hand side of midfield. Obviously they're going to be looking to improve their team. They're more than likely going to lose the one or if not both of the Sessignons this season, and I think he was I think it's Ryan Sessegnon, the main dude, played on the left hand side, but this guy can dabble as well down the right and the left according to transfer marked. According to who scored, he was just down the right hand side, but he can dabble a little bit down both hand sides. Definitely a key player for Fulham this season, and I expect him to be one of the first names on the sheet for Fulham this season. Next up we have, it is Tom Eaves. That's right, big time striker for Gillingham last time out, scoring a bucket load of goals, and a lot of Championship clubs were sniffing around on Hull, stepped up the plate and picked him up on a free transfer. That's right, how crazy is that? Bit of a journeyman, starting his time at Oldham, then went to Bolton, back to Bristol Rovers, Shrewsbury had him for a bit, Rotherham had him for a bit, Yeovil had him for a bit. Bury had him for a bit, and then Gillingham finally snapped him up back in 2017. He scored goals. Maybe as a replacement for Dacky Boy, but he was a striker. Look, his value was tipped way up here when he was an 18-year-old and plummeted. Eventually picked up by Hull. 100,000 is not his value. Surely we're looking around about 5 million, give or take. 27 years of age, that is a bit of a weakness for him as he's been around a little bit, but he did score a butt-ton of goals for Gillingham last time, 21 last season from 43 starts in League One. Obviously, they've cut a lot of players from their books, have Hull, but picking this guy up, a British guy as well, I think that's a cracking bit of business. And again, the Britishness does add to the value of him in the transfer pecking order here. So, quality bit of business for Hull. Obviously, they might need his goals if Jared Bowen is to leave. We'll have to wait and see about that one. Next up we have, 2017-2018, a second best player in League One. It is Nicholas Powell. Now that he's made the move from Wigan to Stoke, we can actually praise him a little bit more. Scoring 8 goals last time out in 32 games all in all. Obviously, he seems to have been around the books for ages, absolutely ages. Obviously, formerly Manchester United player. Very good at tackling, hold on to the ball, through passes. Plays in that attacking midfield slot as well. Can dabble a little bit up top, and occasionally can play on the right hand side. Apparently, his crossing and his passing is a bit iffy. Transfer marks have his value at around about 3.5 million. I'd say that's probably wrong. More than about 10 million, give or take. Obviously, started his career at Crewe. Obviously, a production line of quality, and then he was snapped up by Manchester United before going out on loan to Wigan, and eventually that move was made permanent. He also had a little spell at Hull as well on loan, but right here, right now, he is on the books at Stoke City. Good bit of business, and again, I can start praising him a little bit more now that he's not a Wigan Athletic player, because their manager was so cocky about him and all that kind of stuff. I think Stoke are doing business right. I think they're going to be in the thick of things playoff wise. They had their airtight defence towards the back end of the season, and now they've added a bit of quality into that attacking third. And this guy will create chances. I'm not saying he's going to score the goals for you, but he's going to create the chances and be involved with the play. So Nick Powell, top draw, and he's my third best signing. Into number 2, and it's Pontus Jansson. That's right. Oh my goodness, this deal came out of nowhere. I did see some early rumours of him going to Fulham, and I thought, that would be a cracking bit of business at Fulham. But heck no, he went over to the other bit of London, to Brentford. Holy smokes. From knocking on the door from playoffs and promotion with Leeds to go and swapping all that for Brentford. I still can't get my head around this deal. He offers leadership quality. He's a mammoth at the back, can score with his head as well. Scored 3 goals last time out for the Championship. I just don't get it. I think the reasoning behind it on a Leeds point of view is that they needed to balance the books. He was one of the most sellable assets. But stuff like this doesn't come around that often. 28 years of old, he's in his prime. Brentford are making a go of it this season, but I do expect them to cut their losses and lose probably Neil Maupay in the transfer window to balance the books, because bringing in Raya, bringing in Pontus Jansson, big hits across the board. I think it might be too soon for Brentford. I think a lot of this, it might take another season to get to work into shape. But ultimately, big signing on here. I expect big wages for him. Obviously, he's been at Leeds for a fair few years. 5 years. He was snapped up by Leeds from Torino, before Torino was at Malmo. One of the Malmo sides anyway. Solid centre-back, valued at 6 million according to this bad boy. According to Transfermarkt, they paid around 6.15 million for the transfer. That is a signing that a lot of Championship clubs were looking for, defensive-wise, centre-backs. Since Cologne Rovers, 28 years of age. I still can't get my head around this one. I think the value is a little off as well. I think the going rate, I think they kind of robbed Leeds blind a little bit. 6 million. I think even more on the lines of 8 million. And he could definitely be playing in the Premiership, but this season he'll be playing for Brentford in the Championship, and that it's just the shock value of this deal to make it number 2 in my eyes. It's completely out of the field. They've got a leader here. They've got a goal-scoring defender from set pieces anyway, and I just cannot get my head around it. And I think it's top draw from Brentford, but it doesn't beat number 1 for me. The number 1 summer transfer was this one. It's from Brentford to QPR. Johan Barbe, left back, I believe. Quality left back. Premier League clubs were sniffing around with him, but did he decide to go Premier League with Aston Villa? Heck no. He went to join possibly relegation fodder QPR. He could play at centre-back, which he played 16 times. He can also play at left-back, which he played 14 times last season. He was picked up on a free transfer. He's a bit sluggish with his aerial duels and his crossing, but passing good, holding onto the ball, and concentration as well. He's very good at the laying up of the old set pieces. 26 years old. He does look like he's about 50. But a decent, tremendous signing, valued at 1 million by Transfermarkt, probably wrong, more along the line 4 to 5 million. Great free transfer, you know, forever present for Brentford last time out in their reasonably decent season, and I think this is top business. I do think QPR are going to struggle with him in the team. I don't think it's going to, it's not going to change the fact that they're going to struggle. But this is out there, top draw signing. Free transfer. I guess wages may have been a factor. I don't know what his wages are like, and maybe it was like, I think Aston Villa was sniffing around. Some other Premier League clubs were sniffing around as well. But I think QPR must have offered him more money to pick up one of the most sought after left backs in the Championship, and he will remain in the Championship for this season. And that, my friends, is my current top 10 out of the summer transfer for 2019-2020 in the Championship. What do you think? Has there been a better deal so far? Stick your own thoughts and opinions in your comment section down below. Obviously, still got 2 or 3 weeks left of the transfer deals to be made. I might do an update to this when the window shuts. But ultimately, it's been a little bit slow pokey, and I think we're still waiting for some big deals to start taking place. I expect some big names still to happen. The Bowens, the Malpays of the world to move. But we'll just have to wait and see. But until then, that's what I've got for you. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the thumbs up. If you do, smash the subscribe. Pretty much new videos every single day right here on the channel. Until I see you again, thumbs up, subscribe. Ciao for now. Thanks again for watching. Please like, share, and most importantly, hit the subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, football related. We've got it all covered right under one roof. And while I still have you, please be sure to check out some of the old videos scattered along here. I hope.